Hello and welcome to the Daily Meal for Saturday, 27th February 2021. How are we all doing today? Well, probably not too good, seeing as today is match day and we lost 2-1 to Barnsley. Barnsley 2, Millwall 1. Now, if you saw my video yesterday, you would have seen that two people that we looked at, David Prutton on Sky Sports and WhoScored.com, both of them predicted a 2-1 win. So I know a lot of people don't like doing it, but did you have a little bet on that? Because it seemed to be quite a popular opinion now. Barnsley 2, Millwall 1. Did you have a bet on that? I did put Barnsley in my Eka after I saw the team. Team was playing Mason Bennett up front on his own. And I saw that team and I thought, we're not winning this game. We're not winning this game. And indeed we did not. But to be fair to Mason Bennett, he did very, very well with what was presented to him. He made one goal. He had another headed chance towards the goal. And he had another one that he should have got on target, but he put just over. But he did okay. But we got undone by some looping headed balls that caused havoc in our defence and we lost 2-1. So let's have a look. This is from skysports.com. This is the match report. Let's go down. It says Barnsley 2, Millwall 1. Valor and Ishmael's side pick up 5th straight win. Report and highlights from the Sky Bet Championship clash between Barnsley and Millwall at Oakwell as goals from Corley Woodrow and Michael Ellick earned a 5th straight win for Valerian Ishmael's playoff chasing Tykes. Corley Woodrow and Ellick scored as Barnsley won their 5th Sky Bet Championship game in a row by beating Millwall 2-1 at Oakwell. The game got off to a flying start with 2 goals inside the opening 6 minutes. Woodrow put the hosts ahead in only the 2nd minute, stabbing the ball in from close range after Alex Mount's free kick into the area caused problems for the Millwall defence. Yes, and I nearly missed that because I usually don't start watching on iFollow straight away because of all the nonsense, you know what I'm talking about, all the nonsense that goes on around the kickoff time, you know what I'm talking about. So I usually don't start watching straight away. I'll wait a minute before I turn my head towards the screen and unmute the sound. So I nearly missed it, and it was some people were saying it was offside, but no. The Barnsley player headed it down onto a Millwall player. It hit the Millwall player, then went forward. So I think when the first Barnsley header impacted, everyone was still onside, but they went forward, and then it hit the Millwall player, and then carried on going forward. So it looked like they were offside, but it wasn't. Let's carry on reading this. A swift counter-attack resulted in Millwall equalising 4 minutes later. Jed Wallace setting up Mason Bennett, who slotted low past Brad Collins from the left-hand side of the area. The game then settled down for a period with two teams cancelling each other out and neither side managing to create a chance of note. Towards the latter stages of the half, Barnsley's Carlton Morris forced his way into the area and Sean Hutchinson did well to make an important block which saw the striker's deflected effort tipped over by Bartosz Białkowski. Barnsley head coach Ishmael made a double substitution at the start of the second half with Tony Sibic and Abo Halmi coming on in place of Solskjaer and Palmer. And you can see the teams there, how they lined up. I don't think that's accurate for Barnsley. I'm not sure. Anyway, carrying on. Collins made a comfortable save after Bennett met a Sean Williams cross with a header. Białkowski was then called into action at the other end, tipping over Mowat's free kick, also keeping out an effort from Woodrow. Hellick put Barnsley back in front in the 59th minute, blasting a close-range volley into the roof of the net. Millwall had a chance to draw level in the 73rd minute, when Bennett found himself with just the keeper to beat, but he fired over. And you can see we had more possession. We have more of the offsides. Yeah, because they were playing a high line. Proper good display by Barnsley. Both sides made a change in the 75th minute with Barnsley's Adeboje, Badioje replacing Dyke and Matt Smith taking over from Ben Thompson for the visitors. Millwall boss Gary made a triple substitution 5 minutes from time, turning on Borley, Ferguson and Bodvarsson in place of Bennett, Williams and Alex Pearce. Barnsley appeared content to see to get out the game and protect their lead in the closing stages, with Millwall never seriously threatening to snatch a late leveller which would have extended their 8-match unbeaten run. And what the manager said, Barnsley boss, congratulations to the guys for the performance and the mentality on the pitch. It was a tough game. It was exactly as we expected against Millwall. We were prepared for the direct game today. That's why we put a lot of bodies, physicality in the starting 11 today to compete at that level. Millwall boss Gary Rowett said, I thought it was a very close game. I thought we were the better side in the first half, and they were probably the better side in the second half. We started poorly, and 2 moments in the game undone us. It's 2 set pieces. The second one is second phase, and for both goals we don't win the first ball and then we don't react to the second ball. The first goal is offside. I'm not going to massively complain about it, but it's a clear offside. I think the linesman should certainly be able to see that. So I just told you about that. If you go to the highlights and see, you can see it hitting the Millwall player and going forward, and that's why they're not offside. And Barnsley played a high line. They played basically all of their defence was lined up on the halfway line, which is why we had so many offsides. They had no offsides, and we were just pushed back deep. And I can see the idea was to play Mason Bennett to get in behind them. Maybe play. I don't know. It didn't really work. It worked for the first goal, but it didn't really work because the defense. If you're gonna look at what Barnsley are doing and say, "Oh, we're gonna play this way in attack to combat Barnsley," then you got to also look at your defense and say, "How are we gonna defend against Barnsley?" And it didn't seem to be any coherent strategy for defending her. If you do have a look at the highlights for Barnsley's second goal, what I want you to do is not watch the ball. For Barnsley's second goal, look at what Ryan Woods is doing for Barnsley's second goal, and see if you can tell me in the comments below what the hell he's doing, because that was just awful. It's just awful. He does nothing. He's just getting in the way of everyone else, which causes the lost header, which loops over the Millwall players who were trying to do something, and then Barnsley score. So check that out. Anyway, we're going to move on now. More words from Gary Rowett. This is from news@den.co.uk. It says, Millwall boss gives his reaction to defeat at Barnsley, including undoing and tactical breakdown. Gary Rowett said his side switched off at 2 key moments to give Barnsley 2 goals in the Lions' defeat at Oakwell on Saturday. Woodrow and Hellick scored in each half after Mason Bennett had equalised in the 6th minute. Rowett praised Barnsley for their approach but felt the scoreline didn't reflect how the game went. No, I don't think so. I thought it was a very close game, very tight. I thought we were the better side first half. They were probably the better side in the second half, Rowett said. 2 moments in the game undo us. First one is the second phase. For both goals, we didn't win the first ball and then don't react to the second ball. The first goal was offside. I'm not going to massively complain about it, but it is offside. I think the linesman should be able to see it. I've seen the replay several times, but we should defend it better. Yeah, most of it is what you've just read, but some extra stuff. Then after the first goal, we settled well. It was an interesting game because the last time we played them, we had to work out how to stop them playing out from the back and all their rotation and movement. What they've done now is found an effective way. They are really direct. They are possibly the most direct side I've seen in the Championship. But they're good at it. They're organised and they just keep putting balls down your throat. They defend very high. That's when you need to play with composure. First half, when we did play with composure, we played over the top. their backline and broke their defence with good runs and got into dangerous positions as of the goal. Second half, we didn't do it often enough. We had so many opportunities just to put a ball in with a little bit of height into a good area for someone to run onto. Our clearances just went to their defenders who just headed it back down our throat. Our opportunities to play forward weren't good enough, and they get away with that high line defensively. That was the disappointment. There was nothing in the game. They just pinned us in for the first 15-20 minutes of the second half. They're a pressure team. They want you to make a mistake. And if they keep doing it often enough, they hope you switch off. And we switched off. We then get our one big chance. The second half, it's 2 set pieces. Mason does well for the first goal and probably should score the second one also. I think there's a reasonably fair reflection of the game. It's the championship and you don't always get what you feel you deserved. They've worked incredibly hard. They all press and chase and do what they need to do. You have to take your hat off to them. I'm disappointed we switched off at 2 big moments, and that's 2 set pieces that we have been undoing. So let's go back up and see, and you can see the table now. We are in 12th, 43 points from 33 games. Preston are just below us. We play them on, is it Wednesday? I think it's Wednesday. Might be Tuesday. Bristol City above us, 45 points. Stoke on 45 points. And Middlesbrough in 9th on 47 points. Okay. Let's move on to, this is from londonnewsonline.co.uk. It says Millwall manager explains why he mixed up striking partnership for Barnsley match. Millwall boss Gary Rowett felt pace would be the way to unlock Barnsley's defence in today's 2-1 defeat. At Oakwell, Jed Wallace and Mason Bennett were paired up front for the first time this season, and they linked up for Millwall's equaliser with later netting. All the goals and all the chances they've conceded have been balls in behind over the top, so we just felt as though we needed as much pace and movement as we could, said Rowett. I felt that we needed an extra body in midfield just to see if we can land on things, because if you just match up with them, they are going to be better at what they do than you are. So we tried to play with Woodsy in front and Willow a little bit deeper, just to see if we can get a little bit more quality into those forward areas. And when we did, I felt we did it okay, but we stopped doing it, and that was the disappointment at half time. Bennett and Wallace were getting joy against Barnsley defence in the first half, but the host changed tactics at the break to rectify the situation. We spoke about what we needed to do in the second half, which was play with more quality when we had a chance, which was defend set pieces better, said Rowett. We didn't play with enough quality, and we didn't defend the set piece, and unfortunately, that's been our undoing. So there you go. I can see what he was trying to do. It would have worked if we didn't concede such an early goal, because you would imagine that we could have gone 1-0 up if we were able to defend, but we were not, and it is what it is. We go on to Tuesday's game against Preston. Let's just forget this and move on. Thank you for watching. Bye.